DiRT 5 has to be one of the most disappointing games in the lineup, let alone in the current generation of games. When I heard a fifth title was coming out and seeing the trailer for the game, I was excited to see what they have in store. But then I got my hands on it and I just not wanted to play the damn game anymore. This is one of the most dullest racing games I've ever touched, right next to Project Cars, Grid 2019, and the NASCAR Heat series. So in this video, I'm going to review this game by step to tell you what I don't enjoy about it and what's wrong with the game itself.
Ever wonder why big car companies pay 2% tax while the guys on the assembly line pay 40?
To be blunt, the single player campaign is very underwhelming, and it gets underwhelming really fast. Instead of it being just a normal rally event like the past games, it goes with a different approach. It surrounds itself in some kind of giant festival thing, pretty much how the Forza Horizon games does, and it also surrounds itself with the podcast show with Donut Media. And if you don't know who they are, you're better off just not knowing. Lastly, there is some storyline with two dudes that's voiced by Troy Baker and Captain Martin Walker. Why, you might ask? I don't know. They were dragged out of their house at gunpoint. What I don't understand is that Codemasters got these big name voice actors to voice in their game, and they say they don't give a shit when they say a line. So, okay, I have a clip of these two talking to each other, and I want you to be the judge of this.
I gotta tell you, I'm not really a big fan of rankings and numbers apart from changing AJ's 0 losses to 1 this weekend. Gotta make the superstar give it up, trust me.
Okay, there he is. This is the guy. The big talk. It's just too hard. Someone like me, I do this for the joy of the sport. You're a robot.
I'm a robot now.
Yeah, you're like Bruno 3000 racing computer, just sucking all the fun out of the sport, man.
Yeah, you'll
you know
enjoy
what I'm
looking at
talking
the
about too, right?
You'll see the back of that computer a lot, especially the last 5 laps.
Where did you get this pie from?
At Target.
Like, they sound so awkward and just don't want to be there. Now, I know, it's a racing game, right? So who the fuck cares? But here's the thing though, you can have a cheesy narrative in a video game and still be engaging, let alone in a racing title. But if you're gonna have big name voice actors like Nolan North and Troy Baker, who voiced in one of my favorite games of all time, don't make them sound like they're about to go to sleep. Like, it's to the point where it makes Russell's album look engaging, and I don't know how the hell you did that.
I love that people are just like gay.
But that's enough of that sorry excuse of whatever that is. Let's go on to what we actually care about. The events of the game, and oh my fucking Jesus Christ, what do I have to say about this one? So there are 9 event types in this game, and they feel pretty shallow and repetitive when you play them over time. It feels like you're playing the same event every time, nothing changes. But what are the events, you might ask? Well, they are Ultracross, basically just Rallycross with a different name, Riley Raid, a point-to-point race, sometimes with buggies, trucks, and Rallycross vehicles. Icebreaker, it's just Ultracross on ice. It gets boring really quickly. Stampede, again, it's like Ultracross but with trucks and a lot more jumps. Land Rush, it's just Stampede with a different name. Sprint, it's just sprint car racing. Flattering, isn't it? I don't think this event fits in a game like DiRT, but whatever. Pathfinder, a hill climb event. So think of this as your rally event since the normal rally is gone in this game. I don't know why. Gymkhana makes a return from DiRT 3 and not in a very good way either. And lastly, Throwdown. It's just a 1v1 with another opponent. And these events take place all over the world, like Nepal, China, Morocco, Greece, Italy, South Africa, Brazil, Norway, Arizona, and lastly New York City. And to the game's credit, they're all cool locations to race on, but the races in these locations tend to get boring after a while, and the events feels like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. There's nothing unique about them, and they don't have their special quirks. It's just you go in, do the event, then you get out, and that's not fun.
Murder everyone. Yes, literally, Adam, we will be committing mass murder.
But what about the driving? You know, the actual gameplay of this fucking game? Well, how should I put it? It's off. Like, really off-putting. Every time I drive in this game, it just feels wrong. Like, I don't feel like I'm driving on dirt or any form of anything. And when I hit the gas, it feels like the car doesn't want to use its full power at all. And when I'm trying to drift around a corner, it doesn't want to kick the tail out at all, and tapping the e-brake doesn't help either. That's why when I'm trying to do a Gymkhana event, it feels like a chore than me trying to have a good time. Every time that I drive on a different racetrack, there is no sense of different terrain at all. Like how in the Icebreaker event, it doesn't feel like I'm driving on ice. And the AI in this game is an absolute joke. I put the difficulty on hard and it doesn't matter. Sometimes your opponents are behind you and sometimes they just rubber band your ass and somehow take the best line up despite you being on loose surface. Oh, and when you do get in last place, they always stay in a pack. So when you're trying to get back up to the podium, it's a pain in the ass because they don't give you any form of breathing room to work with. Either the tracks are too narrow or Codemasters don't know how racing works. Another thing is there's a leveling up system in this game, and honestly, I think it's out of place and kind of useless. It just gives you stickers, liveries for certain cars in the game, and openings for sponsor events, but other than that, there's nothing else to it. It's just kind of there. You can also customize your purchased cars by giving it different looks and stuff. It's pretty lackluster and doesn't give you that much options to customize the cars. There is online multiplayer for this game, but I couldn't find a single match in it. Honestly, I'm not surprised given how boring this game is. There is a split screen multiplayer option, which is kind of weird in a modern day racing game since everything is online.
That's a very nice Burger King crown, sir. I hope you enjoy your flight.
Lastly, I want to mention the visuals of this game really quickly. Now, for me personally, I don't care about graphics in a video game, unlike a certain someone that I know, because it's something I'm not interested in, and it shouldn't be the reason why you should hate a game whatsoever, unless it's absolutely eye-wrenching to look at. It's the gameplay and the story that's being told to me that matters the most, and the graphics are this bonus at the end of the day. But I have to say this right here and right now, the cars and their reflections look fucking dull, and this is a next-gen game, or rather a current gen game, and they couldn't get the vehicles to stand out. They make the cars from Gran Turismo 4 look better, and that game came out in 2004, and the environment and the outside visuals are pretty generic and bland. Not bad, I just wish it was better. It just looks dry when you compare it to other games, and the weather effects are cool and makes the game stand out a little bit, but other than that, there's nothing else to talk about. I just wish it was better than what we got. If I was you, I wouldn't get this game for $70 or $60 if you're playing on last gen consoles. All in all, the campaign's not engaging, the events get repetitive over time, the cars don't have any sense of weight to them, and the difficulty is a joke. The only thing that's alright about this game are the graphics, but that shouldn't be the reason why you should pick this game up. If you really want to try this game out for yourself, I just say wait for a price drop. The final verdict for this game is 2 big Torus out of 10. I hope Codemasters learn their lesson and try to bring the game back to its roots, and try not to make the game soulless again. It probably won't happen since EA owns their ass now. Anyways, if you like this video, you'll get a free copy of Space Vibes from this man. This man will come to your house and sniff your feet or some shit, I don't know. Anyways, bye bye kitties.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but